Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. You know how much we love digging into the latest studies, and this one, you're going to love this one. It's all about finding that mental edge as as we get a little older.
And who doesn't love that idea, right?
Exactly. So get this, today's deep dive is all about the brain-boosting potential of a surprisingly simple food. We're talking about eggs.
Yeah, you heard that right. We're cracking open a fascinating study here.
Okay, so this study we found, it was published just a couple months ago in Nutrients Magazine, a pretty well-respected journal. And, well, it suggests there might be a connection between eating eggs and staying mentally sharp, especially as we age.
What really caught our eye was the finding that older adults, especially the women in the study, who ate just 2 to 4 eggs a week, they showed slower cognitive decline over 4 years compared to those who rarely ate eggs.
Okay, so before everyone runs out and buys a dozen eggs, we do have to add in the standard disclaimer here. Correlation doesn't equal causation, right?
Exactly. It's not like they cracked the code and found eggs are some miracle brain food. More research is definitely needed to figure out what's really going on, but it's definitely something to think about, you know?
Absolutely. It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a simple thing like how many eggs you eat in a week could be somehow linked to how your brain ages over time.
Right. I mean, we already know that what we eat affects our bodies in so many ways, so it makes sense that it would affect our brains too, right?
Okay, so let's dig into the specifics of this study a little bit. They looked at two main areas of cognitive function: semantic memory and executive function. So semantic memory, for those who don't know, and I'll admit, I had to look this one up.
I did too.
So semantic memory is like that mental filing cabinet where you store facts, general knowledge, that kind of thing.
Right, like knowing what year the American Civil War started, that's semantic memory. Or being able to remember the name of that movie you watched last week. Or knowing what those two areas of cognitive function are that you were just talking about.
Exactly. It's kind of amazing when you think about how much information our brains are storing at any given time.
It really is. Now, the other area they looked at, the executive function, that's like the brain's control panel, right?
Okay, I like that analogy. It's like the control panel. Helps us plan, organize, make decisions. Multitasking, problem solving, all that good stuff that keeps us, functioning in the world.
Exactly. And I think it's fair to say that those are pretty important functions to maintain as we get older, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to feel like they're losing their edge in those areas. And this is where those eggs come back in, right?
Yeah.
The study found that the egg eaters, they seem to have a bit of an advantage when it came to these specific cognitive skills.
And while we can't say for sure that it was the eggs that made the difference, the researchers have a pretty compelling theory about why eggs might be playing a role. And it all comes down to a nutrient called choline.
Choline.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, before this deep dive, I didn't know much about choline.
Yeah, most people don't, which is kind of surprising because it plays a pretty vital role in brain health.
Yeah, so tell us, what is it about choline that makes it so important for our brains?
Well, choline is a precursor to a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. And acetylcholine is basically like the brain's communication system. It's what allows our brain cells to talk to each other.
Okay, so without enough choline, our brain cells can't communicate as effectively, which I guess it can lead to all sorts of problems.
Exactly. Memory issues, difficulty concentrating, slower processing speed. Those can all be signs of low acetylcholine activity, which, as we were just saying, can be linked back to not getting enough choline in your diet.
Okay, so where do eggs fit into all of this?
Well, here's the thing about eggs. They're a nutritional powerhouse, and one of the things they're particularly rich in is, you guessed it, choline. Just one large egg provides a significant chunk of your daily choline needs.
It's seriously just one egg. See, this is why I love doing these deep dives. You just never know what you're going to learn.
Right, I know, it's fascinating. And the best part is eggs are so versatile. You can have them for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Don't forget dessert.
Right. Cakes, cookies, you name it. There's probably an egg in it. So finding ways to incorporate more eggs into your diet, it's not exactly difficult.
No, it's definitely not a hard sell, especially if it means potentially giving your brain a boost. Although we should add, like we always do, that maintaining a healthy brain is about a lot more than just eating eggs.
Of course. Diet is just one piece of the puzzle. Staying physically active, challenging your mind with new things, and nurturing your social connections, those are all equally important factors.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about balance, right? Taking care of your whole self, mind, and body.
Absolutely.
Well, there you have it. A deep dive into the potential brain-boosting power of eggs.
And who knows? Maybe this will inspire some of our listeners to try adding an extra egg or two into their weekly routine.
Hey, it's worth a try, right? Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you next time for another fascinating deep dive.